So the Broncos have a good old-fashioned quarterback controversy. Drew Lock, drafted with the 42nd pick in the 2019 NFL draft. We all know how good second-round quarterbacks are. Shout out Geno Smith. Uh, with an 8-10 record, 3,000, just about 4,000 yards passing, a 23 and 18 TD to INT ratio on just under 60% completion. He's not bad. He's not bad, but Melvin Gordon said that this week he believes Teddy Bridgewater and that quarterback competition out there in Denver is going to bring the best out of Locke. You hear this rhetoric a lot with usually it's the coaches, not not the teammates, but yeah, you hear this rhetoric a lot of, oh well, good old fashioned quarterback controversy is going to make the dude earn his job, and he's been a starter and he knows what he's capable of, and he shouldn't have his confidence rattled that we brought in a guy to challenge him. He should elevate to the challenge, and if he doesn't, well, he doesn't deserve the job. I think that you hear that rhetoric a lot, but I don't know how many gears higher Drew Lock necessarily has. He reminds me a lot of Kirk Cousins, and this whole situation reminds me a lot of Washington's Cousins RG3 situation. What do you think about that comp?
Um, I mean, if anything, I would say that like I see why you think that, right? But if anything, I think that in this specific scenario, Teddy Bridgewater would be the Kirk Cousins because he's the one pushing the incumbent starter, Drew Lock. But for Drew Lock specifically, I mean, look, his first year, his rookie year, he did well. He did very well. He went, I believe, 4-2 as a starter. He had some pretty good games, and he showed a lot of poise, which for a young quarterback, that's a big measuring stick of like how you're going to develop and what teams look for, especially in your first year on a bad team, because the Broncos, their first year, were a bad team. Take a step to next year. Now this is not the same Broncos team he had his rookie year. Like, got Cortland Sutton. He's got Jerry Jeudy. He's got Noah Fant. The offensive line was a little shaky, obviously, but regardless, you got Melvin Gordon and Corey Lindsey in the backfield. So it's not like he didn't have weapons around him to make himself successful. I think a lot of people were looking for him to make that next big step, from year one to year two. It's a big step for rookies these days, right? It's a big step for rookies these days, is that step from year one to year two. And when you make that step, you have to show that you're at least going to be a quarterback who comes in and, dictates the offense, especially given how many weapons he had, man. And he wasn't able to do that. If we're being honest, he was not able to do that. He missed, like, I believe, a game or two because of COVID and injury. But even that, man, he didn't play well. And he's not completing 60% of his passes. The 8-10 record, given Broncos quarterbacks as of recently, it's not terrible. But again, that's like comparing Jets quarterbacks win loss record, right? 23 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. It's not gonna blow people away. The only thing that I think is really saved his job this year, or at least for the time being. We don't know what Teddy Bridgewater is going to end up being. We'll find that out in preseason. But the only thing that saved them up until this point is the fact that the Broncos didn't have Trey Lance fall down to him, because that would have been the quarterback who I saw the Broncos go after. Big guy, more mobile than the past quarterbacks they've drafted. So it's weird because the Broncos have been a team that's like, we've said this since Peyton Manning retired. They're a quarterback away from being a damn good football team, and they really are. They really are. Unfortunately, as much as Teddy Bridgewater might push him, and I truly believe Drew Lock, has a future in the league, I just don't see it as the franchise quarterback of the Broncos. But if he truly wants to prove that, he's going to have to take a massive, massive step in the right direction. And it's going to be a short leash, man, because if you have this core, if you have this core with, let's say that Aaron Rodgers trade doesn't happen, with Patrick Surtain on defense, Von Miller coming back, if you have that core and you still go like, 6-10, 7-9, or 7-11, whatever the 17 games is going to be, you still manage to, be mediocre football team, Leash is going to be cut very easily, and he's going to be done. And, again, I think he has poise, and he maybe has the ability to be a backup somewhere else. But It all depends on this year because as far as we've seen from Drew Lock, it's not good enough.
Yeah, and on top of that, there just isn't anything that wows me about Drew Lock. You get some of these quarterbacks who
He's
don't
got a
necessarily
cannon.
play
He's
great.
got a huge arm.
Yeah,
Huge arm.
he's
That's it.
got well, but a lot of guys have a huge arm. That's the thing is it's like a lot of these guys who come out here and he's got a big arm. But like to think about some of the other quarterbacks that have taken some leaps recently, you could see the potential, right? You saw Mahomes and you thought, yeah, this kid really could real quick, go from to a superstar, and he did. And Josh Allen, a guy that a lot of people were out on, after his first 2 seasons in the league, really took a step in year 3 and 4, right? But you saw, he's mobile, he's smart, he makes the plays, he needs an offensive line, and he needs some offensive talent around him. And then he could take that step forward. I just don't see that potential in Drew Lock. I see a guy with a big arm who doesn't, is Daniel Jones like? That is, he's a good arm, but he doesn't make. Now I'm
Give
using it
him the
derogatorily.
keys to the franchise, then Johnny. Just like the Giants did.
But yeah, but it's a big arm, but it's well is he's not making the reads. He's not showing you that he can do any of the advanced stuff. He's not making plays not with his speed, but with his footwork, and that's the kind of thing that you want to see out of quarterbacks. You want to see them be able to go through your progressions. You want to see them be able to look off safeties. You want to see them be able to hit guys on good routes when the play is done properly. And I think if you watch the Broncos, I think if you look at the games, these are the criticisms that you have of Drew Lock. Not that he can't make the throws, but that he doesn't do the other stuff that you need out of a quarterback. And those things can be taught in time. But the Broncos want to win now. Like the Broncos are looking to win tomorrow. They're not looking to win in 2 years, right? That's why you bring in Bridgewater, because he's a guy. He's kind of the opposite. He doesn't have a great arm anymore, and he's not super mobile anymore, but he does the football stuff. And you hope that maybe you combine them into one person, put Teddy Bridgewater's head on on Drew Lock's body, and maybe then you got a quarterback. But
Even then,
maybe
man, you
that's
got
what
like
Melvin
you
Gordon
got like
needs.
Trevor Simeon. Teddy Bridgewater will come in there, and I think he will do just as good a job as Trevor Simeon did. And Trevor Simeon, as a Bronco, I believe he's 13-10 as their starting quarterback. That was his record there. Which again, considering Broncos quarterbacks, it's the best since Peyton Manning
Yeah.
retired. So, I think they need a game changer. Okay. You want to know why Drew Lock isn't the guy in Denver. There's a reason why Aaron Rodgers is being floated around very seriously as a potential trade partner with the Broncos. Because this is a team that is desperate and has been desperate for years to get a good quarterback, a great quarterback in there to fix this team and elevate the rest of the team to the playoffs. Because let's be honest, man, if they get Aaron Rodgers, if they had a quarterback who could make plays, make the reads, and elevate his teammates, they would be giving the Chiefs a run for their money, because that's how good the
Oh
weapons
yeah.
are on this team. That's how good the defense can be. But the unfortunate thing is, past few years, who have you had? Paxton Lynch, bust. Drew Lock, jury's out. Trevor Simeon did the best he could, but not good enough. Joe Flacco did the
Brock
best he
Osweiler.
could, not good enough. Brock Osweiler stole a lot of money, not good enough. But so that's the thing, and the Broncos, I'm showing since Peyton Manning retired, they've not been able to build their own quarterback. They've not been able to get one, through the draft. So they're bad at developing quarterbacks. They know that the only way for them to get better is to trade for one or get one in free agency. And the big one, if you're gonna get one, is Aaron Rodgers. So thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.